Hi all of you, a very good evening to you all. Now as all of you know that we have just finished our 2023-24 NEET MDS exam, which was on March 18th. So what I'm going to come up here is with an analysis, okay, a primary analysis of the exam. Means to say there is going to be a secondary analysis. What is that? Yeah, we're going to analyze the question paper of the last 2 years. Very crucial. Okay, this is I'm talking to the new batch, the 24-25 batch. Okay, because those who have finished it, they don't need this analysis. You need it more than anyone. So we're going to also come up with the last 2 years, because NEET in the last 2 years has changed drastically. Okay, now so you need to understand the pattern, because now it's like, if you see 3 years before this, okay, it is slightly different. Okay, though this was already anticipated, these changes were anticipated, but in the last 2 years it has changed a little drastically. So that is called secondary analysis, and we'll be conducting that in our live sessions. Okay, that will be available on the app. So this is the primary analysis based on a survey conducted among the academy students and students outside the academy. So academy students in the sense those who wrote the exam, okay, and outside in the academy, who was there in the academy as well as outside the academy. So this is a kind of a general analysis. Okay, so what we are going to come up here is with what was the average number of questions attempted. This was very important to understand for the prospective or next year students. How was the exam difficulty perceived? Now, how many number of repeats came? Very important for you all. What is the pattern of the exam, subject weightage of the exam, now time factor, and some very key takeaways, general analysis for you. Wait for that. It's very important. So let's go one by one. Average number of questions attempted. So now you'll see here, if you see this graph, okay, don't worry. So the question was, how many questions did you attempt in part A, part B combined approximately? You will see here, this is 230 plus. 16% students attempted 230 plus, and 32% students attempted the 220 to 230 questions in between. So means to say a good attempt is 220 plus, because you can see here around 48% students have attempted that. Now you ask me, oh my god, 220 plus out of 240? Now this is lots of mathematics coming here. I'll teach you that. I've even said that in my previous videos to your senior batch. Okay, what is there's something known as 10:2. Okay, 10:2 concept. So 220 plus should be attempted. How you should attempt that, and you're going to learn that in the coming entire year. Okay, now does it mean that you're going to get 220 out of 220? No, but then there is a understanding there. So this is the first thing. Now what about the exam difficulty? How was it perceived? The exam was perceived to be moderately difficult. If you just see there, now it's a very important, okay, when I say you moderately difficult in 220 plus attempts, okay, I'll come to that. So you'll see that this this is what is moderately difficult, that is the yellow. Okay, 64% people told that it is moderately difficult, and around 16% told that it is moderate. So, and around 12% difficult. So you can approximately say that 75% plus students said that it is moderately difficult to moderate to difficult, that range. But definitely, yes, 64% students said that it is moderately difficult. Means to say that it was not difficult, nor it was easy. Now, what next? Now, certain key factors are involved. Now, as I've told you, now people attempted 220, 230 plus, and they only surveyed that the exam was moderately difficult. Now, to understand this, we have to do some analytics. Okay. Now, community dentistry, those who have studied correlation and regression. So what we conducted was, we conducted a correlation. We understood the correlation between, because this is a little surprising, because in a moderately difficult exam, how can you attempt 220 to 30 questions? So we conducted a correlation, and we understood that the correlation was 0.8. Okay, sorry, 0.08, which is very low correlation. So it's a very weak correlation. Means to say that Actually, the exam was perceived to be difficult. Okay, it was not very difficult, nor it was even moderately difficult. It can just be said as moderate. Okay, because yeah, 220 plus 230 plus attempts came. So exam was perceived to be difficult due to certain reasons. What are these reasons? That is very, very, very important to you to understand. Okay, so what are the first reason is twisted questions. Lots of twisted questions was there, or I would say application level questions, concept based questions were there. One, okay, so people just perceived it to be difficult. Yeah, concept based question. Then very little repeats. I'll come to that. Very little repeats were there. Now definitely when you see all these, the stress levels are going to increase. Now I told you the day before exam, those who are listening to, those who have written the exam, I've told you multiple times, not just day before exam, continuously was saying you, it's all about how good you maintain your stress levels. Okay, and those who maintain the stress levels were very happy. Okay, they said me that, okay, so like it was just like so good when I maintain my stress levels into low. Time management, I've told you so many number of times, like attempted in 3 rounds, all those instructions were given. Don't read the entire question if you don't know the first one. Lots of instructions was given to time management. Still many people did a mistake. Okay, I'll come to that again. Lack of practice. Remember 23 mock exams, and I told you, practice, attempt the full questions, sit for 3 hours. A student told me, said, I was practicing around like after 1.5 to 2 hours, I felt like, tired, because this is what really happened in my actual mock exams also. So I told you, take it seriously, attempt it. Okay, now don't worry. This happens to everyone. Okay, everyone, 98% students do the same thing. So your competition level is, competition is leveled. Okay, so that is about his rating of the exam. Now, yeah, this is very important. Number of previous attempts. Okay, people said 60% students, or 61% students said that less than 20 repeats, less than 20, and 40% said that, or 39.1% said that less than 50%. So somewhere in between, isn't it? Definitely not 100, greater than 100, not percent, I'm sorry, number. Definitely not close to 100. Okay, definitely not 100 or greater than 100 or even close to 100. Usually that is what we see. That's what I so told you last year and the previous year. We have to analyze it question by question. That's what we are going to come to in our upcoming live sessions a lot. Okay, so not just analysis, we're going to learn based on that a lot. Okay, definitely you'll have your basic lectures, you'll have your concepts clear, but in between you'll also go for lots of application level questions, concept based questions in our live sessions. That is the entire plan of the year. Anyway, so what I mean to say here is around less than 20 questions repeat said by 61% students. Possibly, I would say, though I have not come up with a secondary analysis, we'll come to that. Around 20 to 30 if you just push to the maximum. Okay, now pattern of the exam. Now this is very, very important. Okay, so priorities, what I mean by that. You'll see that the highest number of questions were concept based application level questions, including image based, but definitely not pure image. It was image based application level questions was highest. Or I would say application level questions was the highest in general. That is what the student said. Okay, now concept based non-application, basically it will not be an application clinical case, but then again concept, understanding the concept was crucial. So if you just see that, okay, this is what is the analysis here. Okay, 88% students. So there was like, this option was given that you can select 2 options from this. So 88% students said that it was application level. Okay, 32% said that it is concept based but not application. And memory type was 32, which was very, very low. And I predict, trust me, I predict this for the next year, this is going to be, less than 20. Okay, less than 20. So this is the number of students though. But then memory type questions among all, it is going to be around somewhere around 20%. Okay, image based in general was around 16% said that image based was also there. Okay, means to say that that is a priority. These 2, then followed by memory type and then pure image based questions. Okay, so what is the takeaway here? You can't purely rely on memory base. Okay, you have to focus on concept base. Now, does it mean that okay, you have to learn only concept base? No, or application level? No, your concept has to be clear everywhere. Okay, more focus has to be on the understanding of the concepts. Now let's go to the next, subject weightage. Now there was a question asked to the students like, did NBE followed the subject, weightage? Okay, like 15 questions from general medicine, 15 questions from general surgery, 7 questions from physiology, like that. Okay, 14 questions from clinical subjects like ortho, perio, like that. So what the answer was, 56% said no, and 28% said I don't know. So means to say that only 16% said that yes, it was followed. Means to say that I will say it was not very correctly followed. Even some students said that lots of part A or subject, that is medical subject question was asked in clinical section. Okay, maybe they will be focusing that on the oral pathology part. Anyway, oral pathology medicine. So was not followed, that is what 56% told. And yes, so the key is don't prioritize. I've said this many a times, isn't it? You can't say that I'll study, I'll leave. Recently, that 2 days before the exam, I spoke to one student, and you know what she said? Me said, I didn't do few subjects, and one was pharmacology. Okay, I didn't do pharmacology, I didn't do that. You can't prioritize any subject. But I did very well, I did this subject. No, it should be equal prioritization. Okay, you can't say all of a sudden you will see that from a particular topic more questions can come. Okay, so don't prioritize any subject. I told you before, like while the mock exams and revision was taking place, you should not even a chapter should be left behind. Definitely a few questions if you're left, it's still okay, but not even a single chapter can be left behind. That's what I told you, I gave you the time for that. If any chapter left behind, do it. Okay, now, yeah, and we asked the students, what are the problem areas you saw? What are the problems you saw? And the majority of students said that there was lots of calculations based questions. And the biggest problem was pens were not provided. Remember, I gave you a voice message a day previous to the exam as well as a video. I'm going to come to that. Now, in the voice message, I told you that it is better to take a pen with you because they will not provide you a pen. Okay, now, I gave you a video. In that, I told you that clearly read the instructions. Okay, clearly read the instructions before starting the exam because your time will start only after you click the start button. Remember that. Okay, now this is connected. One thing was like previously, some centers provided pens, some didn't. So what we advised to students was take your pen and tell them that if you don't provide, I have to keep my pen. So they will tell that, okay, keep it with you because we don't provide and all those things. But this year, what happened was, it was not mentioned in your prospectus, nothing like that. But then what was mentioned was, or when it was mentioned as in your examination hall, okay, instructions part, it was given that you'll be provided with digital calculators. Now, this was informed to me by one of the students who wrote the exam. So, first of all, thank you so much for informing this. So, it's very, very, very important that you read the instructions. I told you multiple times, okay? Because, even if you get all the guidance based on the previous year, something new might come. We can't say that, okay, nothing new will be there. And what if that new has come? That's why I told you that you have to read the instructions. And in some centers, that's very good to know that the invigilators told the students that there is digital calculator provided, and that's another good thing. Okay, so this problem was actually not there, but unfortunately many students missed this out. Okay, and they had to do some calculations in their mind, but it's okay. Anyway, so two very important informations I want you to understand here is, one is, yeah, digital calculators will be provided once they have, so in our mock exams also we are going to give you digital calculators from now onwards. Okay, and another thing is like it will be provided, and not just mock exams, all the exams you'll be getting the digital calculators from now onwards. because we have the option, but we were not providing because your NBE was not providing. So now onwards you're going to get it on your from your NBE also. So good, next year onwards there is no issue of this pen, because many times, including me, when I went, I had to take my own pen and I had to do calculations, and then where to do the calculations behind your hall tickets. All these were complications. So that's good. Second and even more important thing which you have to understand here is you have to read your instructions. Please write it down somewhere. Read your instructions. I've given you clear examples also in the previous video why you should read your instructions. I'm not repeating that. Okay, so keep that in mind. So let's go to the next. So some subjects which was perceived to be difficult was, one was pharmacology, community dentistry. Definitely it has to be. Now one thing which everyone said, sir, kappa statistics was problematic. I told you, I gave you the INICET November 2023 paper, remember? Okay, and I told you that do those questions. Okay, do those questions, must do. And exactly the same question came, but only thing is that value was changed. 0.8 was made 0.7. So that yeah, I know that based on that chart only the question came. But then yeah, when you see that kind of a chart, you have to learn it. Okay, because if 0.7 is a question, 0.8, sorry, if 0.8 is a question, 0.7 can also come, isn't it? So anyway, and I got lots of messages, many students saying that, sir, I did the INICET paper, so I got this question correct. Good. So now, yeah, always see, last year's paper, the previous year or probably the previous 2 years, including the INICET or NEET for both the exams, you might get direct repeats, exactly the same. You don't need to learn all the concepts and all. If it's good, we learn it, but then at least do the direct things. Okay. Now, prosthodontics was one good area. General medicine was always has to be difficult. Okay, because concepts has to be clear there. Now, yeah. Next, finally, a time factor. So, what results I got was 50-50. 50% said that we got time, and 50% said that we didn't get time. Now, yeah, why is that? Okay. So means time was there, but then I told you how to manage your time, I told you, isn't it, how to extract time in your third round, or how to save time in your round 1 and round 2 to take it to round 3. So many students said that they did this method and they got time, but then literally somewhere very honest, they told me, sir, I didn't do that and they didn't get that time. So yeah, and they was laughing. So if you have done that, there was no issue. Okay. Now, so basically this particular exam was time management, stress control, okay, concept, I missed to write it there, practicing mock test. Okay. So if you have just followed the last phase at least, where I told you time management will be a key, stress control will be a key, practice more and more, mock exam, practice it sincerely. Okay, then yeah, this was it. Okay. Now, yeah, I see. Okay, we conducted 23 mock exams, and yeah. Now, what is the key takeaways? That's very important for you to understand. First is you have to, I've been saying this, you have to learn the concepts. Okay, many students still thinking that I'm going to read the notes. Okay, I need only notes. Okay, I'll read some here and there, and no, notes can't teach you concepts. It's lectures which teaches you the concepts. It's a doubt solving. It's your live sessions which teaches you the concept. You have to learn the concept. And see, even if you've understood the concepts, learning happens only and only if you revise. Otherwise, the concept will just vanish. Okay. Now, what next? There is no prioritization, as I've told you. Okay. You have to learn everything. Okay. You have to learn every subject, every chapter. Okay. Every subject, every chapter. I see many coaching centers saying that master your clinical subjects. Okay. Or master your medical subjects. Or some, okay, I want to name them. Some people think that I'll go join some medical coaching centers and I'll clear my concepts on medical subjects. Dental subjects I'll somehow learn. Okay, one thing which, okay, I don't know if I've missed it out somewhere. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was medical. So it was your part B more difficult this time than your part A. That was another perception. Okay, part A was easier. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, you have to be. There's no prioritization. Okay, practice. Now see, many students ask me, sir, I've done my dental pulse properly. I've done the lectures. I've done the notes. Okay, should I, or some even haven't done dental pulse, or I've done my lectures, I've done my notes, I'll do my dental pulse, I'll do my practice questions, practice questions and exams on the app later on. It doesn't happen. You are going to learn for an exam which is MCQ based. So simply learning theory is not enough. Definitely your concepts are the key. I don't disagree in that. But practice is important. Okay, why practice is important? Yeah, I'll tell you why. Okay, now stress management, no doubt. Okay, you have to take the new batch students. You're going to have grand tests. You're going to have live exams. You're going to have revision exam besides your subject based. Now subject-wise exams and all, there is no much stress involved. You're just learning that subject, doing your subject-wise exams. You're doing your topic-wise exam. But then the actual stress management comes when it comes to your grand live tests. Attempt it sincerely. I told you, remember some of the earliest batches, the 24-25 batch only. When you're learning for a grand test, learn it in 2 days. You'll have 3 subjects to learn, but learn it in 2 days and see how well you manage the paper. Because your seniors know that they have learned the entire 20 subjects in the last 3 days before the exam and then went for the exam. So those who handled that period actually managed to handle the stress properly than anyone else. Okay, so I'll come to this, don't worry. How to manage stress? Yeah, that's what one of our biggest agendas. Now, how to attempt a paper? It's very important. People think that, I learn everything. Now, see, people have a big misconception that I join a particular coaching center, okay, anyone, okay, and they're going to teach me every theory, every question which is going to come to the exam. Another funniest thing, I repeat this every year. One student, once she joined the academy long back, and probably the first or second year of our academy, and first or second year anyway, and she called me, very innocent student. Okay, she asked me like, sir, can you give me the references of all the books where each and every chapter has 1,000 questions? I was shocked to hear that. Now simply, practicing questions is not enough. Or simply, rather than practicing, simply by hearting some questions is not enough. Your concept has to be clear and you have to attempt a paper. You have to attempt an exam, mock exam, revision exam, grand test, and learn from your mistakes. Okay, that is what it is. Okay, learn how to do guesswork. Now, this is one of the biggest takeaway for those who have written this NEET exam. I've told you also, and I've taught you the methods to guess, doesn't it? Go to the options, connect the options with find out, look for the key factor, do the retrospective analysis, connect. So all this, you have to learn how to do guesswork. So many students, what they do, they get the question paper, mock exam, submit, go through the solutions. No learning happens, no guesswork happened, no learning from your mistakes happen. This is one thing, learn from your mistakes so that you don't repeat it again. Practice new questions. Okay, practice, not learn. Learning new question is easy, submit the paper and learn it. But you have to practice it. No problem, you might not be exposed to it, or you, as such, you might not be exposed to it, but the concept might be exposed. So think like, and as you go on in 1 year, you will be well and good enough to answer these kind of questions. So that is the general takeaway. So my advice to you all, take it seriously. Okay, many students have this big misconception that I'll prepare in the last 6 months. Those days are gone, I think. Like if this pattern continues, your concepts has to be crystal clear. Okay, this year, last year, both year what we have seen is this pattern is continuing. So means to say that you have to take it seriously now. Learn your concepts. Your concepts has to be clear. You have to attempting the paper. Okay, attempting the questions, practicing the questions. New questions are the key. Learning how to do guesswork is the key. Managing your stress levels, managing the time management. All these are going to be key. Okay. Now the best part I like is, with this pattern of exam, those who have actually put serious, sincere efforts will get better results. Okay, and that is what it has to be, isn't it? So that is the positive side of it. But then, yeah, the unfortunate thing which even I don't like is some kind of surprises come out. Some people who have put the effort then didn't expect, or something went wrong towards the end, or was not able to handle the stress properly. They end up in disappointment, which is slightly which is a little saddening thing for everyone. And one more thing, okay, before ending, the current batch also listening it on the same day of upload, we're going to have a live session on the coming Sunday, okay, in the evening. The exact time will be informed to you very shortly, okay, and it will be available on the app. So get ready. We're going to come up with some more, lots of analysis. Okay, then I've told you, like this week we'll be analyzing your problems. Okay, where do you stand? What are the problems you are facing, those who have joined already into a batch 1, batch 2 and batch 3. We're going to analyze what were the problems so far you were facing, okay, in learning, and we'll be correcting them. Okay, I'll be giving you a form to fill, which will be mentioning your problem, so that you don't know in the live session you will not have a problem with asking it directly. So you can fill it there, and even if someone want to ask also can ask. But if some people are very ashamed of asking it publicly, so you can fill it there, and all your queries, all your problems will be discussed, and there is a solution for everything, trust me. But then the problem is, when you become too late, then the solution becomes more and more difficult. Okay, so that's it. Have a great day and take care.